Thursday, November 20th. I just need y'all to listen to this. It's part of my morning routines. Let me open up this. I got to open up this chat.
I think the Browns fans are frustrated watching this offense. I'm trying to be understanding. However, I think that this is the worst possible timing. And I think I'm watching him like a hawk coming up on Sunday. Because I've already seen, you brought up watching Isaiah Bond. It's like, well, finish your route. What are you doing? Finish here. Let's not do this. You're too much of a rookie to not be finishing routes. That's your
I just wanted to share with y'all.
That the people that look at film,
tapping into,
because I know it's been in vogue.
This is actually 92.3 The Fan
They can't score
on
17 points.
YouTube.
It's been the running theme of the year. They couldn't get there. Again, even with all the great field position they had, that the defense with their dominant effort provided. But I've seen the film buffs all year say, that's not a good route. That's not a good route. That is not what Kevin Stefanski most likely wanted with that route. Like, not on the same page with the quarterbacks all year.
Yeah. He's got to be. If you want to snap at the media, that's perfectly fine. That's okay. I mean, again, you and I have been short with some of them people.
They're actually talking about,
to some sort of
it was Cleveland Browns met with the media yesterday.
It's okay. And it wasn't like he started cussing them out or anything.
So
like
they're talking about the wide
day.
receiver, Jerry Judy.
On Sunday.
But it's going to time in the Shedeur. Just watch.
Be a 5-yard out.
Every story they talk about the Browns always
this has to be positive.
goes back to
We gotta
Shedeur.
pick this thing up because
What's up?
the Raiders are going to be doing everything they can. That's a bad football team, but they're going to be doing everything they can, and they're going to send the house after him. And you've got to be.
They talking about Jerry Judy's bad attitude.
It's difficult. I get that. I'm not the one out there running routes. I'll probably have something bad for my health later on today.
They're always going to talk about Shedeur. I just wanted to share this with
You
y'all.
got to be in the spot you got to be at. So yesterday, I drew the ire of some because it was like they were saying, Kenny, you're giving up on Shedeur. And I go, I'm not giving up on Shedeur. I'm being honest with myself. And being honest with myself sometimes isn't the most popular thing to say. And I said, guys, I think we need to brace ourselves. Sunday ain't going to go well.
You see?
We need to be ready for the
Hold on.
And
They're so used to losing with the Cleveland Brown organization. You got to put positive energy out in the atmosphere. If you have negative thoughts, then typically negative things will occur. But if you speak life, if you think positivity, positive things are going to occur. But the culture is so bad. The culture is so bad. Just listen. Just listen, y'all. This is live. This is Thursday morning. This is live.
4-hour show, so maybe it was taken a different way. I'm not angry over it. I do want to play this snippet. Here is Nick and Jonathan talking about some of the people who, and Tyvis Powell's even brought this up. Maybe there's a section of the fan base that wants Shedeur to fail. Talking about some of the anti-Shedeur.
Well, why would you, that I don't understand. Why would you want any of the quarterbacks? I understood the Shedeur fans that wanted Dylan to suck so they could get Shedeur speed up, get him in the game. I totally understand that. I do not understand why anybody would be sitting here today rooting for Shedeur to be bad when that's one of the darts that you're throwing up being really good. Then you've saved the team from having to go draft a quarterback.
Well, unless you're part of the grassroots campaign that's probably from Oregon.
Selmo, way to represent. Good morning to you, brother.
Anybody in that case?
Hey, I'm tapped into 92.3 The Fan.
Certainly not as powerful or as strong and as wide-reaching as Shedeur's fan base. But if you're a Browns fan, I'm not rooting against any of these guys. I want them all to be successful, and I certainly want ShedeurSanders to be successful. However, I think that might have got a little lost in translation.
Do I have to declare myself as a Shehater or Sheporter? Because I got to be honest with you, the anti-Shedeur folks who are also Cleveland Browns fans might just push me to do it. You know what it is? It's the Shepanin.
There's been a lot of Shepanin.
Selmo. I've never seen, I'm a big time Pittsburgh Steelers fan. That's the Fort Pitt Bridge in my hometown. Beautiful scenery in the background. But I don't understand. I understand the team has been bad for a long time because of the upper management and the mindset and the culture. But I don't understand where now everybody's been looking for a possibility of finally getting a franchise quarterback. And instead of supporting the quarterbacks that y'all do get, y'all run them out of town. So it kind of it's just crazy. Now they got a narrative, the Shedeur panic. Why is there a narrative of the Shedeur panic? Let's just listen to these people. I ain't gonna call nobody out of their name. Let's just listen to it.
Ken has every right to feel the way that he feels, but hearing Ken say today, I expect him to be bad on Sunday. I'm like, that's just panic. That's living in our fears. I don't think we should be doing that.
I feel like the anti-Shedeur.
There's a saying, there's nothing to fear but fear itself. But he who believes in the Lord, he shall renew your strength. So have hope. But why is the narrative up in Cleveland they're thinking the worst outcome? Shedeur gonna ball out.
Well, they've been waiting to choose a side, and they finally just got to choose that side for themselves. And then once they chose that side, they've just dug themselves even further and further. Even like Lima, for instance, and I don't even know if he truly is an anti-Shedeur person. If he doesn't like being labeled that, I'm sorry, I apologize. But
I don't care.
But
I apologize for nothing.
The idea that it seemed like in the past couple of weeks he then legitimately chose this side that he was anti, and then you just kind of, all right, my feet's in the mud. Here we get after it now, and it just is one of those deals. And I feel like a lot of people have also entered from that same space as well.
I'm sure you're going to want to have to say something about that here in a second. Can I just say this?
Yeah.
Guys, if it were 1776, I want America to beat the British. I would probably have a feeling that in my head going forward, we're probably going to lose to the British. Okay? I'm a Perry High School alum down in Canton. If they played Massillon tomorrow, I'd want Perry to win. Probably have a feeling on how it's going to go. We get feelings. You're an underdog for a reason. And it's not a panic situation.
I'm all for that, baby. I'm all for that, Selmo.
I hope I'm wrong. I'm hoping he looks good. But if the situation is...
They hope he look good, but they thinking the worst.
Experience with these guys.
I'm just crazy. I'm done. Let me shut my mouth.
Let's be fully tailored to him. He's got these habits that are going to be very hard to break within 1 week, 3 days of practice. I'm not expecting a good Sunday. But I want him to be successful. I want this thing to go well. I just don't think it's gonna go well.
Okay, this is 92.3 The Fan. I watch this every morning. It's like having a morning cup of coffee or your smoothie drink. Since I've been following Shedeur, I've been tapping into this on YouTube every morning. 92.3 The Fan, ESPN Cleveland, the Ultimate Cleveland Sports Show. I tap in. So I just wanted to share this with y'all before I walk out the door and start my day.
Huge difference between those things. But it doesn't mean, Shedeur's terrible and it's a waste of our time. No. We got plenty of time. This team isn't going anywhere. I just want this thing to be successful, and I just get a feeling it's not.
Yeah, I think Jonathan was worried at first about the label of people like me, and I think the Shedeur fans are doing way too much of this. I think they're so invested in Shedeur that they have to decide who's with us and who's against us in the local media, in the national media, and I just think it's overanalysis. I think it's because they're probably not all that optimistic about Shedeur.
All things come together for those that work together for the greater good. That's the mindset that the people in Cleveland got to have.
And the experience with the Browns, and kind of it's for good reason because of this situation.
The same way.
I think you're so preoccupied on each talking head, and if they're full, Cam Newton, he's for us. Okay, Cam's for us. Okay, put him on that side of the ledger. Oh shoot, Albert Breer is on this side, and it's like, guys, if he plays well, we're all going to jump on the bandwagon. That's what's amazing about sports. If he plays well, I'm a Browns fan. I'm going to be really excited if he plays well because it's going to renew my vigor for this season.
I got to pause it right there. That is Anthony Lima. Anthony Lima is the biggest flopper as far as supporting Shedeur. One day he's supporting Shedeur and Mr. DeionSanders, one day he's bashing them. But today, he's he got the shield up for Shedeur. Let's continue to listen. He got the shield up. Drop y'all comments. Let me know what y'all think. And I just have to share this with y'all before I walk out the door. I tap into all this sports media content on YouTube every morning. It's live. It's live.
Where it was a couple of weeks ago, it was like, what's the point? We're playing out the string here. That's why, I don't know, did you guys not hear me? Like, I wanted Shedeur to have the team now for the rest of the year. I mean, unless he's just god awful. If it looks like that half, well, then no, we're going to have to move on.
I don't want to go back to Dylan.
Everybody's jumping on the ShedeurSanders bandwagon. All the ones that bashed him.
Where every talking head is on all these guys. Where am I on Dylan Gabriel? I've been out on Dylan Gabriel since the moment they drafted him. I was excited. When they drafted Shedeur. Heard me all year.
Boy, if I could go back and play some of his clips.
It doesn't seem like the Browns are in on Shedeur.
When he's talking negative about Shedeur.
By the way they've handled this throughout. It was nice finally to get Kevin Stefanski open up about his relationship with Shedeur, because it seemed like there was non-existent. It seemed like there wasn't one. Yesterday, we finally heard from Kevin about the different things they're doing to get him ready. Why did it take till now for him to share it? Why did they protect that secret so much? Because in protecting that secret, it only got Kevin Stefanski labeled all the worst things as a human you could be labeled.
Speaking of, I want to see if people believe that, because we have some audio from...
It came out on Monday. Albert Breer exposed Kevin Stefanski.
And do we have to have a conversation about Evan Mobley? That's in 25 minutes. Keep it here, 92.3 The Fan, 92.3thefan.com. Watch us for free on YouTube Live, 92.3.
I check in all the time. All right, they got a commercial going on, so I can talk real quick. Now, Lima just brought up, Ken Carmen just brought up how he just spit that out into the atmosphere, how Albert Breer, who's another big-time basher of ShedeurSanders, exposed Kevin Stefanski. What's the day? Thursday? Exposed Kevin Stefanski. It was either Monday afternoon or Tuesday afternoon, saying how privately Kevin Stefanski told his whole offensive staff that there was no intentions to play ShedeurSanders this year, and how they were going to redshirt him. That information just got put out, just got exposed. But now all of a sudden they're trying to change the narrative how Kevin Stefanski has been behind the scenes spending time with Shedeur one-on-one. He wants to get the credit for any positive outcome that comes of Shedeur. Now, it is true, Shedeur gets there early basically every day when he shows up at the training facility. And he does watch tape and things with Kevin Stefanski one-on-one. So I want to keep the realness being real. I'm not into false narratives or lying on anybody. I just speak on what the truth is. All right, let's get back into this.
Waves, man.
Brian Hoyer came out with us this week and was like, oh, Cam got some fuzzy memory because I didn't get any reps when I backed him up and had to go into a game one year.
Yeah, that was something. That was something.
Cam must have forgot that year.
Yeah, Brian's
like a Tuesday that they had to reschedule, too. Yeah, it was a weird one.
Yeah, Brian's like, I didn't get any reps at all.
And while y'all listening to this, put some comments in here. Let me know your thoughts.
So there was nothing there.
That was news to Brian Hoyer, who actually, was his teammate.
Was interesting there. So that's Cam on ESPN. So Kevin Stefanski had his media availability yesterday, and he announced that ShedeurSanders was going to be the starting quarterback heading into Sunday against the Las Vegas Raiders. A lot of people excited about that. Some people nervous about that. I'm one of the people that are nervous about it. But hey, at some point, you got to kick the kid out of the bird out of the nest and see whether or not the bird can fly and whether or not we can get it done. So here's Kevin Stefanski, and I want to play that. We played the Cam Newton. And Cam Newton saying a thing that a lot of people are believing, that you didn't get him ready for this. And I was upset on Sunday. I was upset, and maybe some of the words I take back, but we'll see.
Kevin Stefanski never planned
words about making
for him to be on the field this year.
ShedeurSanders as comfortable as possible.
Make sure that they're comfortable, and it's no different with Shedeur in there. You want to make sure that all the concepts are things that he feels confident in. Obviously, having been around him over the months, you get a good sense of the things that he's fit his eye, so to speak. So definitely want to lean into those type of things, and he's working very hard.
All right. We're off to a good start here. A lot of pressure. A lot of pressure. Biggest game of the year for the Cleveland Browns, by the way, on Sunday. You believe?
Well, it's the 8th installment of that, but yes, it is. we were.
Come on. You know very well.
Well, yeah, although apparently not that big for a Youngstown TV affiliate to actually show the game, they chose the Steelers game over it, which is a 1:00 game, but they could only choose one, and they chose the Steelers over Shedeur. So apparently
They said they had no power over that.
Yeah, right.
They said
I always
CBS
loved that
chose
one.
that.
I always loved that one. As somebody who actually worked at an affiliate before. And Kenny, you work at an affiliate.
Okay, so
what are your bosses telling you?
I don't know television.
Yeah, I can't believe they're not showing this game
They
nationally
make sure to do
for
everything
the
they can for their
ratings.
switchboard not to light up. So they say that it was a national decision, and it's like, oh, they have no say.
So let me bring people up to speed. WKBN in Youngstown, Channel 27, which is a channel I used to watch when I lived in Youngstown, Boardman. They are carrying the Steelers. They're carrying the Steelers game instead of the Browns game, correct? And they have said that it was. And I gotta look this up on the fly. I didn't know we were going to do this here real quick. So
the Steelers play at 1:00. My Steelers play at 1:00.
In Youngstown, Valley football fans hoping to watch Cleveland Browns take on the Vegas Raiders this Sunday. They're going to be disappointed due to NFL broadcast rules. WKBN will air the Pittsburgh and Chicago Bears game at 1 p.m. instead.
Well, that's crazy. Why would they show the Steelers game and not show the Cleveland Browns game in Youngstown, Ohio? Youngstown, Ohio is a big time Steelers fan base. That's why. That's why.
Youngstown's considered a secondary television market for both teams. CBS assigned the Steelers game to WKBN. Cleveland remains a primary market for the Browns, so the game will be shown on Cleveland's CBS station. That's 19. So there you go.
I can't actually watch the game at home. I got to go out and watch it.
Especially, it's interesting because...
Wait a minute, there's rules here about doubleheaders.
Yeah, you would...
Because I can't watch it on TV. I got to go to a local sports
you would have
tavern.
thought the Shedeur thing is the Shedeur thing just so big with us here that we are blinded by it, and this is not a big deal anywhere else in the country?
I think this is not a big deal to hardcore football guys. I think to the general public, this is a big deal. And yes, this is 2-8 football teams that are not very good. I understand that. But I'm clinging to what could possibly be any bit of a future for this football team. I don't know what the Raiders are clinging on to. I mean, Geno Smith has gotten old, and Pete Carroll is old. I got a lot of respect for both. And, I mean, Kenny Pickett would back him up, or Aiden O'Connell. I don't think anyone of that
Hayden O'Connell came. I don't know if he's off of IR yet.
It's a very interesting game and a very big game, even though that
he's the actual backup.
In Youngstown, Ohio, who are Browns fans who listen to us, they're not going to be able to get to see it, unfortunately. I don't know television. How'd you get that quickly?
Practice.
Oh, you got first team reps? Yeah. I'm not sure about that. Here's Kevin going a little bit further about it, saying, turning first team reps, the mental reps, into a real thing.
I think it just goes back to, we talk about taking the practice field to the game field, and you try and take the meeting room to the practice field.
Now this is Thursday morning, November 20th. This is live on
about
it's 92.3 The Fan.
Game plan and those type of things, and I think our players do a really nice job of taking that to heart in the meeting room, and then
I'm actually watching it on YouTube.
So here's part of my issue where it's like, hey, it's not a panic move. It's a common sense move to me. And this is where, like, guys, if they go out there and they play well, this will be one of the biggest undertakings of the year. This will be a fine job by ShedeurSanders, and this will be a fine job by Kevin Stefanski.
See, they trying to give Kevin Stefanski the credit.
Veteran NFL quarterback.
He never wanted him to get on the field.
Tough situation for Shedeur because you had a rookie quarterback in front of him taking the first team reps. So mental reps become important, but you got a guy who's learning himself. So you don't know.
Thank you, Ken. Shedeur's been learning by himself.
That's difficult to do. And that's part of the reason I'm not having such a great feeling going into Sunday. Kevin continues. Hey, it's time to build some chemistry with ShedeurSanders and those receivers, even though we did just play the Jerry Jeudy audio 40 minutes ago where he's having himself a little bit of a problem. Go ahead.
The more time and the more reps, period, are always better. As quarterbacks, they sit in that room, you watch a lot of tape together. So you watch the receivers and sometimes you don't get the rep, but you see how those guys come out. So that's what you have to do as backups, that Shedeur does, that all of our guys do. When you're not getting that rep, you're just making mental notes to yourself about how guys come out of breaks.
Feeling good? You're just nodding your head. You feeling good about that?
Yeah, I mean, he's kind of going through the motions on that one. I know at the end of the press.
Yeah, I got to pause right there. Yes, as a backup quarterback, you don't get live reps, and you have to watch from afar and get mental reps. But there's nothing like being on the field, y'all. What I want to say is, first thing that comes to mind, think about you and your homie, your girlfriend, your woman, your wife, whoever, your son, your daughter. They're driving the car. You on the passenger side. Y'all going to a destination, okay? When you're on the passenger side, you ain't paying attention. You really ain't paying attention on the passenger side. You are, but you ain't. You ain't looking to see where the left turn was made, where the right turn was made, what color the signal light is. It's the difference between being on the passenger side of a car and driving the car. You learn how the car feels. You know how it handles. So yes, every quarterback has a backup, do mental reps in their head, but there ain't nothing like getting actual time on the field.
He said he actually has taken more time, each and every week to go over the film of Shedeur practice, going over what, they had done that day and everything. So, the notion that there was like a non-existent relationship between the two was kind of ridiculous. So it was silly for a lot of the national people to say.
Do you believe Cam owes an apology then?
Yeah, probably. Probably, because he was kind of talking out of his ass, right?
Lama,
I mean,
Cam gonna come at you.
You're tough talking tone.
Yeah,
I like this.
Well,
Lama, he gonna come. Cam gonna come after you.
From a plate like we
said he was talking out of his ass.
That's the thing. Kevin didn't do himself any favors because he wasn't really going into the specifics all year. And again, I guess I would question why. What were we hiding here? You're allowed to say that you're working with guys on the football team. There's nothing wrong with that.
Is there anything?
Hey, the chat's open up. I got the chat open up.
Fully supporting your starting.
Drop your comments in here.
I think
share your thoughts on what you're talking about.
All the strides that you're making with, he's been asked about Shedeur before. This isn't the first week that he's been asked about Shedeur.
I just think he's in full-on protectionism, where I think he believes any word he uses is going to be used against him in the court of sports talk radio. And so he's going to say the same thing to every single answer or every single question, no matter what. And he's going to make it as boring as possible.
But that's the problem. That strategy has backfired because it has people thinking that he hates Shedeur.
Well, yeah, I mean, we have people saying he wouldn't even say his name.
Yeah.
For the love of God.
Well, we were analyzing.
And I was like, he wasn't really saying his name.
Think about how we were analyzing the body language in the video in the last game in the final 2 minutes, right? Think about that's what happens when you don't explain yourself. You lead people like Cam Newton to make the worst assumptions about you.
So this is where
because there are some assumptions that are warranted.
Will Shedeur have a chance to lock down the starting job with how he plays on Sunday?
Yeah, I'm obviously focused on this game.
Very short answer.
Yeah, I mean, to me, it's obvious. If he plays well, that's it for the Dylan Gabriel experience for a while.
If he were to play well and then they go back to Dylan Gabriel, I'd be fit to be tied.
Yeah. Now, we might be, honestly,
I don't know. I wouldn't know what else to do.
We might be not game-by-game situation here, but we might be couple games by couple games here. Meaning, all right, if he plays... First of all, if he just goes out there and breathes and chews gum, it's going to be better than the last half of football that we saw.
Yeah.
So that is the lowest bar imaginable. Yeah. And so I imagine no matter what happens on Monday, fans are going to say, he's getting better, he's getting better. Guys, he could go out there and just jog in place. It's going to be better. As long as he doesn't go backwards, it's going to be better than last game. So, he'll have that ammo on his side because he set the bar so incredibly low. With that said, if he plays well this week, but has 2 disastrous games afterwards, Yeah, they'll probably go back to Dylan. I don't think he's lined up as far as the team is concerned. I don't think he's lined up the job for the rest of the year, no matter what.
Well,
but for me, I'd like to see now 5 games of Shedeur.
Look at the other half of that coin, though. And I don't know if I want you to answer this right now. I might want you to answer this in 5 minutes. If he goes out there and it goes the way I think it's going to go, where I don't think it's going to go very well for everybody. And some of that might be his fault. A lot of that might not be his fault.
Quit having negative thoughts.
Could that then sow the seeds for the rest of the season where he's not playing? Where if he plays well, it may. If he plays just all right, maybe it doesn't mean the starting role for the rest of the year. If he plays well, maybe it does. But if he doesn't play well, then that's it. He sits down for the rest of the year, and then it's back to Dylan Gabriel or to Bailey Zappi after that. Do you think that that's possible? I want you to answer that in 5 minutes on The Fan, as well as, well, there comes a time where...
All right, they're about to do a commercial. I got to step out the door. I just wanted to share some of that with y'all. I think I may do, because I'm always tapped in to the sports social media to track what's going on with ShedeurSanders, boots on the ground up there in Ohio, Cleveland. Good, bad, or indifferent. And I just decided to get on here and throw this thumbnail up. What did they say about Shedeur? This is, sometime I got to cut off 92.3 The Fan, because Anthony, not Ken Carmen, but Anthony Lima, he really goes in not only on Shedeur, but DeionSanders. But now that Shedeur has been named the starter, you see that he's specifically talking about Lima typically doesn't support ShedeurSanders or DeionSanders. Ken Carmen does. So sometimes I get caught up in my feelings listening to them bashing ShedeurSanders, and I turn this show off. There's another excellent show on YouTube coming out of Cleveland, Ohio. That's ESPN Cleveland with Tony Rizzo. He's on from 9 to 1 o'clock, 9 a.m. to 12, Monday through Fridays. Also, but he just started his own YouTube show. Comes on at 8 o'clock in the morning, the Tony Rizzo show at 8 o'clock. Y'all check those channels out. Tony Rizzo is the big time ShedeurSanders, raises his wrist up, 10 toes down for ShedeurSanders. Tomorrow morning, I'm probably I'm gonna do that one. I want to do that one tomorrow morning. At least that's what the plan is. But hey, if you appreciate listening to the content, seeing what they talked about, commenting on ShedeurSanders, I'm gonna call it the ShedeurSanders Chronicles, the daily ShedeurSanders Chronicles in the morning before I walk out the door. Hey, I'm Randy Prentice, the host of Premier Sports Talk, on a new path to 4,000 subscribers. Thank you all for blessing the channel. If you haven't subscribed, if you enjoy, want to follow ShedeurSanders with me, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, hit that notification bell, and ride with me. Listen with me, ride with me, and thank you for blessing Premier Sports Talk. And may you receive blessings back doublefold today. See ya when I see ya. Be blessed.